Welcome to our story of growing potatoes. My name is Patrick Lewis. I live in Herefordshire in the United Kingdom. And what we'd like to do is show you the step-by-step guide to growing potatoes. We start with this, which is the seed potato, which then goes to the potato root and then finishes with one of these, which we hope you can enjoy at home. The first step to potato growing is the seed potato. The forklift truck here can be seen putting the box onto the hopper and potatoes going over the potato grader for them to be sized. Each tray is put onto a pallet, and each pallet is individually labelled with the sizes and varieties. This is then placed into a shed with lights all around it to help speed the growing of the potato up in store. This is called chitting. The potatoes are then taken out to the field for planting. Ideally, the seed will be planted when the ground is above 8 degrees. Before the seed can be planted, the ground has to be prepared, which involves ploughing the field, meaning turning over the soil, and then using a cultivator to break up the clods of soil in order that the earth is as fine as possible to prevent poor shapes and good growing conditions. Seed potatoes are grown in a free from disease area of the country. After the cultivation has been carried out, a potato planter comes in that has fertiliser on the front to help the roots grow and the planter on the back. A potato planter is used to drop each seed potato in exactly the right place and depth so that as much of the field is used as possible, but also the potato has enough room to grow. Computers and GPS are used to tell the machine where to drop the seed and also steering the tractors in a straight line. The depth is generally between 6 and 7 inches, and the width is between 9 and 13 inches, depending on the size of the seed when it arrives on the farm. Many people think of potatoes as a root vegetable because they grow underground, but in actual fact they're a type of modified stem known as a tuber. The crop is checked throughout the growing season. Throughout the growing season, the crop does not like being over 23 degrees, and this will stop it growing. Pictures are taken throughout the growing season and put onto an app. The app is used so that customers can see the growth stage of the crop, and in future years, comparisons can be made as to where the crop was at that time of the year. The really important point when growing potatoes is to ensure you've got healthy soil and a healthy plant. The picture shown here shows the root structure of the plant. It is incredibly important to have a healthy root structure and a healthy soil. You can see here the different stages of the root growing. So initially you have the actual roots themselves, and then you see the stolons with the hook stage. From the hook stage, it then grows into this very small initial potato, and then it gets bigger and bigger, and then we end up with this root structure of the whole plant. These particular potatoes have been grown in the United Kingdom in the county of Herefordshire and just outside the town of Ross and Wye on sandy soil, which is very light and can be planted in March in order to try and achieve a crop by July. This particular crop is a variety called Lady Rosetta, which has a lovely purple flower. Due to their water content, which is known as dry matter, these potatoes are suited for the crisping trade. There are many challenges to potato growing, but all of them are reliant on the weather. If it is too wet, the potatoes drown, and if it is too hot and dry, the potatoes die of thirst, no different to a human being. Farmers can help if it is too dry by using water, and this is called irrigation, generally applying around 25 millimeters of water per pull. There are in excess of 5,000 varieties in the world, producing 360 million metric tons per year. At the end of the potato's growing cycle, the potatoes die down. It's called senescence. Potatoes take around 120 days from being planted to being ready to harvest. The amount of potatoes per root depends on the type of crop being grown. Generally, we will see between 8 and 15 tubers per plant. The size of potatoes will go from 30 millimeters up to 85 millimeters. A potato harvester is used to lift the crop out of the ground. A share initially lifts the potatoes out of the ground, which then goes on to the metal web. The operator uses computers and cameras in order that he can see exactly what's going on the harvester. The potatoes are very delicate and have to be handled with care, ideally not dropping more than 6 inches. The potatoes are placed into the trailer running alongside until the trailer is full and taken back to the farmyard. The trailer is tipped into the potato hopper, which takes the crop onto a grading line where people hand pick out any green potatoes or soil or clods. The growing journey for the potato has come to an end. It may now go into store or go straight to the customer. Enjoy.